Hey everyone, I'm Ishan Sharma, and in this video, I got the chance to talk with Raj Shamani about how he started his own business, how he grew on social media, as well as how he met Gary Vaynerchuk and got to have dinner with him. I think this was a super interesting conversation. If you are into business, if you are into social media, you will have a lot of fun looking at this complete conversation. So make sure that you watch this completely, make sure that you hit the like button, and here is the video. Raj, welcome to this channel. Welcome to this video. How are you
Oh,
doing, dear?
yeah, I don't know how to respond to how are you doing today or how are you doing today. Genuinely, I'm doing fine if that's the answer. But apart from that, I just woke up and it's hard to believe that I woke up at 5 p.m. today. कल मेरा legs day था, so I don't know how to describe how am I feeling right now.
Amazing, bro. Your reels are really motivational. I really find a lot of
Thank
value
you.
in them, and the way that you contextualize it for the platform is
Thanks,
just
man. Thanks.
amazing.
The whole objective behind Reels is, I tell you, it's basic, right? Like, I don't talk about anything which is rocket science. I talk about something which is very basic, like a simple perspective. Because I make Reels for myself. And I feel that, Raj, you know what to do, but you want someone to remind you daily. And I know that there are a lot of people like Raj. Like, we all know what to do with our lives, but we just need someone who can remind us daily. So I am your daily reminder. I am your daily reminder for everyone who wants to do something, who wants to get motivated, but is feeling little unmotivated or little कि यार करना चाहिए नहीं करना चाहिए. Some perspective, sometimes you feel like quitting, sometimes you feel like playing the short term game, sometimes you feel like maybe I can get angry or I need freedom or I need to create wealth, whatever it is. Daily basis पे जो तुमको reminders चाहिए, that is what Raj is going to be for you. So with Reels, it's just like that. Like I'm your daily reminder.
But yeah, tell me about your entrepreneurship journey. How did it all start? How did you build Shamani Industries, and what made you do all of this?
Yeah, it just started, man. I just got lucky at the right time, at the right place, to be honest, because I was born in a family which was of business people. Though we were not that fortunate when it comes to money, but my father, my grandfather, my uncle, everybody was fortunate to see ups and downs of the entrepreneurship journey. So we were rich in experience. At the time when I started entrepreneurship journey, we were not that rich monetarily, but experience-wise, they were really, really up. Because my father saw three cycles of the business by the time I got into it. So 3 cycles, as in when he started at the age of 18 or 17, he was homeless. He was selling coconuts on the street as a vegetable vendor. Now you can imagine, like, from where do my father comes, right? Like, extreme poverty, selling coconuts on the street as a vegetable vendor. Then he started selling soaps. Then from there on, he built a factory. Then he built a factory. Our entire family was doing good. Everything was going great. We built our own house. The house that was, I think, one of the best houses I've seen in my life. And then my father's factory got fire. So it caught fire. Then again, the downfall started coming. Then he faced like a huge loss when recession was there. The Great Depression time around 2008, 2009. Global market went fucked. So till 2010, 2011, 12ish, my dad's business went horrible. He was down. I think I remember he was in 2011. He was in loss for 25,000 per month or something like that. I don't remember exact year, but it was some year when he was after the fire. This is what happened. So he saw all of this and he tried his luck as a trader, as a manufacturer, as a brand maker. And all those things became really, really like a backbone for me. So when I started, my only objective was that I had two objectives. Number one, I need to prove everyone who's making fun of me because I was not good at anything. I was not born with a silver spoon that I was, you know, and silver spoon, what I mean is not in terms of family, in terms of I was not blessed with good academics. I was not good at studies. I was not blessed with athletic body, so I was not good at sports as well. And I was not, in my entire family, there was no one who was speaking in English. So I couldn't speak in English either. Till 12th, I was not good at English. So I was like kind of this kid, right? So I wanted to prove everyone that, oh, I have it in me, regardless of whether I'm a useless kid or I'm not. I have it in me. I'm going to make it big. That was one. And number two, I wanted to get rich because I thought the only way to prove people wrong is to become rich. And then I was having this conversation with my father. I was like, Dad, I want to become rich. What should I do? And then the business start, like, we should do job or we should do business. And slowly brainstorming happened. And then I got into business, and then we started. It became very, very natural for me to choose dishwash gel business because my father was already in the chemical trading and detergent manufacturing business. So since he was manufacturing detergents already, he helped me build dishwash gel. And then I started playing in that particular segment and helped my father grow his business and expanded my business at the same time. Then in 2015, 16, me and Dad, we decided, why not we do this one thing, because we both are going good. So let's do one thing. My father said, I'll take care of the production part. You take care of the marketing part because I see that you're a good storyteller. So I took over the entire marketing. My father took over the entire production. And then we expanded and we expanded. We came to a level where we are today. So it went on pretty well.
Great. The first time when I saw your Instagram account, I was just like, okay, this might be some person doing some startup, like typical internet type company. And then I saw your story in which you were building your own like IKEA furniture you were showing, and then you were showing that this is what we actually sell. And I was like, okay, this is interesting, this is new. And that's how I was curious that why FMCG, why not like a typical internet startup and all.
Yeah, why FMCG? It was very evident. I didn't have a tech background. I didn't know the meaning of startup till the time I reached 19 or 20. By the time we were already doing $1 million in sales, I didn't know what startup is. So,
how old are you right now?
I'm 24. So by 19, I didn't understand all of this. Neither my father knew about this, right? Like startup mala Flipkart tha mere liye. That's it. Like what is like, can you build startup by yourself as well? I had no clue about all of this. And I knew that there's business, and business needs to be done in one way. You need to borrow money from your parents or bank or your relatives or somebody, like in the beginning, bootstrap it, or your own pocket money, put like starting 10,000, 20,000, 50,000 in it, and then start making from that 50,000, start making more money so that you can get 60,000 and then expand. Then you can get 70,000. This is all I knew. I didn't know what is venture capitalism. I didn't know what these investments are. I didn't know कि ऐसे कोई raise करके external fund से you can grow crazy. No clue. I only knew कि मेरे को 10 रुपया मिला है, मुझे 11 बनाना है ताकि मैं 11 से और ऊपर 12 तक बना सकता हूँ. Simple math.
Typical business.
Business. This is what I did. This is what my father explained me. This is what me and my father together started doing it. And my father had experience in FMCG business. So it became evident. It became very natural for me to get into the same business. Now, apart from that, there are two things which I genuinely believe. Just because I come from a background which was in FMCG. So since the beginning, I've only read about it. Today, you ask me a question like the most difficult question about the history of the largest FMCG companies in the world, I'll be able to tell you. You talk about what companies across the world are doing in FMCG, even though I'm not talking about like now expanded my reach and my interest into a couple of different industries as well. But even if you today ask me what people are doing, what people are going to do in future, what are they working today and what they have done in FMCG world, I'll tell you. Because since the beginning, I've been only interested in this. The first time Google came and the first time I had to make a project in my school, I researched about Big Bazaar. So like my natural interest was in FMCG and I didn't realize this. I only did all of this because I understood only one thing. Because in my house, people were talking about this. So my only game was, how can I help my father build this business or get this thing bigger? How can I help him make this thing bigger? And my father didn't know that detergent business, you call it FMCG. My father didn't know this. My father, look, I do detergent business. But like, Dad, we are in FMCG. Dad's like, what FMCG? So you can imagine, right? So I only knew this. And I was reading about all of this. So now when I was reading about it, knowingly or unknowingly, I started getting to know a lot about what's going on in the ecosystem of FMCG. I started learning about the strategies which have worked for people, which haven't worked for people. And ये सब मैं 12th तक ही करता रहता था because I used to love all of this. I used to read Forbes in 12th standard. And I used to just open pages where they were about talking about Godrej or Marico or Unilever or P&G. I would just read about all of these stuff. I would read about all the talks. उस time पे chairman था Harish Manwani of Unilever. I used to read I used to listen all the talks which Harish Manwani was giving. So I was interested in all of this. And just because I was interested in all of this, it became natural for me to get into it. Very natural. And then I have a simple rule when you come to business, because that's what my father taught me. Is every time you're doing business, you need to ask yourself, what is your strength? Okay, there's a way to do business. There are 3 ways before you start any business. You need to ask yourself 3 questions. Number 1, what is the industry you're obsessed about? Knowingly or unknowingly, where do you spend your time the most? So I was spending my time in FMCG. I was obsessed about it. I wanted to know everything what's going on and off in the entire industry. So FMCG. Then, what is your strength? What is your strength as a person? My strength was storytelling. Just because I was reading all of this, I was watching a lot of movies. I started, and okay, so my father doesn't understand English. He can't talk in English and he doesn't understand the language as well. So I was reading all of this. I was explaining that in Hindi to my father. And because of this, my storytelling skills became better, because my father would give me like 5 minutes. Ke dimag mat kha, zyada jaldi bata. Right? So what is your strength? My strength is storytelling. I am good. I can speak well. I can narrate good stories. And then now you talk about what is your strength and what is the industry you're obsessed with. How can you use your strength to fill a gap in an industry where you're like in a category with which you're obsessed? How can you do that? That's a question you need to ask yourself. So I was like, oh, there's no brand in the city which is built on a fundamental of personal brand. There's no FMCG brand which is giving a good story or telling a good story. Right? There's nothing. So I was like, wow, this is my strength, and this is the problem in the industry. That's what we did. We started narrating our story, our brand journey, and my personal brand. We started mixing that in an FMCG industry, so that the industry, which is a product-led industry, we started making a brand-led industry. And then we blew up. This is how you build a business.
Talking about personal brand, how did it start on social media? What made you think about, okay, I can actually start creating content on social, as well as your meeting with GaryVee?
Oh,
how did that happen?
These are 2 big questions now. So number 1, what happened is, I tell you, I started narrating stories. I got really fascinated by the concept of building, like I got concept of telling stories in public as a public speaker. So I started doing that offline. I started telling my stories. I started telling everybody about my journey, of my entrepreneurship, about my thoughts. In the offline world, I was already doing this. While I was doing all of this, I realized, bro, this is what we need to do. If we need to expand, we need to find out a way to make this bigger. How can we do that? Social media. And when I opened social media, because I knew that the internet is something which makes people popular. That's one thing which I knew. I was like, great. I'll open internet. I opened social media websites. And then I saw this man shouting, ranting every day. I was like, that's GaryVee. I was like, whoa. I love what he's saying. And I love how natural he is. I love how candid he is. I can totally relate to my style. I could totally relate. Like, the only reason why I got little success in the world of speaking, because I was completely informal. Every time I would go and speak at colleges or events or conferences, there would be 10 speakers. 9 of them would talk like, good morning, everybody. This is professional. Come up with their PPTs. I would go there, rap and shout and dance. So people were like, bhai, ye kya ho raha hai? And I could relate that style with Gary. I was like, damn. Then I started reading about the man, started reading his books. And then I read his book called Crush It. I was like, oh, internet ye kar sakta hai. Internet mein ye power hai. Internet can do this. I was like, damn, I need to do this. I started building my particular brand on the website, on the platforms. When I started doing it, I started doing it the same way. Impromptu, natural, organic. Even if you see today my reels, it is like I'm talking to someone. And I'm talking to you right now. I'm talking to you right now. From this, we're going to take out like 3 or 4 reels and we're going to put it on Instagram. This is how we create content. Because Gary Vee taught me this. This is the best way. So all of this happened, and then I got really interested in that guy. Then I was expanding my brand. I became big in the ecosystem as a young person. So one day I got an invitation from from one of the organizers who was organizing an event in Singapore, and they said, we need you as a filler speaker. So now what is a filler speaker and a main speaker? So main speaker means जिसके नाम पे tickets बिकती है, जो आते हैं जिनका slot booked है कि 9 बजे ये speaker बोलेगा come watch him. So you go there and what filler speaker is कि filler speaker is in case अगर 9 बजे वो star speaker नहीं आता है, so 9 से 9:15, 9 to 9:15 के बीच में कौन बोलेगा? We can't keep our audience waiting, right? So we need someone to fill it. So I was like, okay, ठीक है, फिलर स्पीकर भी है तो what? सिंगापुर जाने का मौका मिल रहा है फ्री में, सिंगापुर में जाके स्पीच देने का मौका मिल रहा है, गुड, आई लर्न समथिंग, आई मीट न्यू पीपल, आई मीट बिग स्पीकर्स एज वेल, इट्स गुड. कोई मेन स्पीकर तो बड़ा ही होगा अगर मुझे फिलर बुला रहे हैं तो. आई जस्ट एक्सेप्टेड द अपॉर्चुनिटी. 1 month before the event, I get to know the main speaker is Gary Vee.
What was your immediate reaction after that?
I started packing. 1 महीने पहले से I was like, bro, from today, like leak everything. I knew that my filler speaking spot के लिए तुमको कुछ prepare नहीं करना होता है, because वहाँ पे जाके बस audience से interact करके मस्ती करना होता है. I started preparing from that day. कि if 15 मिनट मिल गए तो मैं क्या बोलूँगा, if 30 minutes मिल गए तो क्या बोलूँगा, if 5 मिनट मिले तो क्या बोलूँगा. I had different combinations. I had 7 speeches prepared. लाइक ब्रो, सब अलग अलग स्पीच अलग अलग टाइम के हिसाब से प्रिपेयर करके जाना है, क्योंकि उतना ही बोलना है और वैसा बोल के प्रॉपर किल करके आ रहा है. देन आई वेंट देयर, गॉट इन द सेम इवेंट. नाउ फिलर स्पीकर और मेन स्पीकर, योर स्पीकर, यू गेट अ बैच विच इज VIP speaker. So you get to hang out in a speaker's lounge. Just because you're in a speaker's lounge, you get to meet Gary. Gary is in the speaker lounge. He's having dinner. You're having dinner. He's eating lunch. You're eating lunch. Everybody's chill, having fun together. So after the lunch, after his speech, I just went and cracked few jokes. थोड़ा time pass किया. And उसके बाद एक session था. The session was networking session. In the networking session, only like top 20-30 people, like millionaires, multi-millionaires, all these people were there. Good speakers. They all were standing. They all were sipping wine. They were having wine conversations because of course Gary is there. So wine conversations hona hai. And I stood next to Gary and I told him, I don't drink wine because I'm a teetotaler. I don't drink alcohol. I've never tasted. I don't eat chicken. So I don't even know what to grab here because it's Singapore. People are eating non-veg. And the vegetarian was salad tha. I'm like, and I don't even have a question to ask you or make this conversation interesting. So I don't even want to waste your time. I generally don't have anything. But I love who you are. Do you mind if I just stand right next to you and listen to you while you're having conversation with other people? Do you mind that? He said no. 2 घंटा मैं खड़ा रहा, मैं उसको सुन रहा हूँ, वो लोगों से बात कर रहा है. 2 hours later, he says, oh, you're really persistent, man. Let's go have some dinner. Let's go eat something. Okay, let's go eat something. मैंने sure. मतलब yeah, come. फिर मैं गया and then I realized that उस particular चीज पे there was no one. Just me and Gary. Like, he took me on a dinner because I was persistent with him alone. Like, it was a kind of a date. Like, that's the best date of the world. Like, bro. And then the real conversation happened, and then he told me about starting my own podcast. Then starting my own podcast के साथ मैं और क्या कर सकता हूँ? How can I make my brand and make it a bigger brand? How can I do more things to even take it to another level? Those were the conversations we had, and that one dinner changed everything, because then I asked him, why don't you come on my podcast? And he said, I won't be the first guest. I'll be the 15th guest. I was like, I'm recording here, right now. You're on record. That you will be my 15th guest. If I record 14, I'll call you, I'll hunt you down. I'll fly down to fucking your office if I have to, but you can't deny. He said, done. He said, done. Coincidentally, 1 year later, I recorded 16 episodes. Okay. And after recording 16 episodes, I was invited to speak at Babson College in America. Boston mein Babson is the world's #1 entrepreneurship college. They called me to give a TEDx talk. Now they called me there, and Boston, you can't go directly, you have to go via New York. I'm like, bro, I'm in New York. Gary's here, 16 episodes are done. Wrote this guy, and then he was coming to some event at a Lavo nightclub. It was a nightclub right nearby his office in Manhattan only. I went there, he came there, we both were in a nightclub, we were partying together, we were having an event together. Then while having partying and all that, I told him, remember, this is what happened. He's like, oh, you remember? And he remembers me from Singapore because he tells in front of everyone, oh, this Singapore guy, look at how persistent he is. And then I told him, let's do a podcast. He's like, let's do a podcast. We did a podcast together. And then I shared this story. I shared this story on my particular channel. He uploaded this story on his Snapchat. Then I shared it on my LinkedIn. He reshared it on his LinkedIn. Then I shared it on my Twitter. He reshared it on his Twitter. I'm like, what's happening? Does he know me? Or like this is just pure fluke or something like this? But whatever happened, it just happened for in my favor.
Right. Amazing. What helps you build this confidence that you have when you are speaking? That free flow nature that you have, like, okay, you'll speak without having that, as you were saying, ki matlab professional ho jate hain sab log, and you're just like free flow in the conversation. So how does that happen?
I just have one thing in my mind.
People conscious ho jate hain, I think that.
यार conscious क्यों होना है? मेरे दिमाग में एक चीज़ है कि मैं अगर ऑडियंस हूँ तो मुझे क्या अच्छा लगेगा. I just think about this. मुझे पॉडकास्ट में बैठ के आई कैन टॉक अबाउट सिंपल. मैं तुझे अभी तू मुझे 10 चीज़ें पूछेगा, तू बोलेगा कैसे बिजनेस करते हैं. आई कैन टॉक अबाउट इनोवेशन, पेव योर ओन पाथ, यू नीड टू चूज अ रिस्की पाथ, ऑल ऑफ दैट क्रैप आई कैन टॉक फ्रॉम द बुक्स, राइट. बट मुझे मज़ा नहीं आएगा सुनने में. तो जो मुझे नहीं समझ में आएगा, आई फील मेरा ऑडियंस भी ऐसा है. जो मुझे सुन रहा है मतलब उसे राज को सुनना है. तो आई जस्ट थिंक अबाउट दिस वन थिंग दैट ब्रो, Raj, if you were listening to this conversation or if you were listening to this speech, would you clap or would you sleep? If you would sleep, there's no point of giving a speech at all. I don't give a speech. If this is one particular feedback which I've been getting everywhere. People tell me, Raj, you put so much effort in a free speech which you have to give in a college. Like, free में speech दे रहा हूँ, time pass करने जा रहा हूँ मैं उधर, and people say, Raj, you put so much effort. Like, we have called 10 speakers, and nobody's as prepared as you are. You come fucking prepared. Like, you know कि इस time पे क्या बोलना है, किस time पे audience को उठाना है, किस time पे कैसे करना. Why do you do all of this? Why are you putting so much effort? Because there's no point of giving a speech if I'm not putting in the efforts. So I think
the obsessive attention to detail is important.
Obsessive attention to details, more than that, obsessive attention of, are people enjoying? वो कहीं भी सुन सकते हैं ना. See when you're going up on live, right? You're not going to talk about something new. You are not talking something new. Steve Jobs is not talking something new. Bill Gates is not talking something new. Nobody's talking something new. तो Raj Shamani कौन है? Bill Gates भी सेम बात बोलता है. Jeff Bezos भी सेम बात बोलता है. दुनिया में हर कोई सेम बात बोल रहे हैं जो लिखी गई है सालों से किसी ना किसी ने बोल चुके. Right? There's nothing new at all. You tell me one person जो बोले कि ये बहुत नई तरह की बातें करता है, bullshit. ये बस उस तरह की बातें करता है जो तुमने आज तक सुनी नहीं थी, तो इसलिए तुम्हारे लिए ये नया हो गया. There's everybody talks the same shit which has been there or which has been said already. There's nothing new. Everything which needs to be said has been said already. Everything which needs to be done has been done already. The only difference is you do it in your style. That's what is unique to people, and that's why people like you when you say this. That's
nothing. Why the Twitter thread that Naval released saying that how to get rich slow, that went up like viral. Everyone was looking at that. Even before, it was A lot of people have already talked about that before as well, but जब उन्होंने release किया, then everyone was like, okay, this is really interesting. The way he wrote it, it hit everyone in a different level. Yeah.
Because what Naval does, like, he casually puts out things. He doesn't complicate shit. What Robert Kiyosaki has done. Assets liability, जो हम 11th class की books में पढ़ते हुए हैं, he just explained it in the most simple way. That's why Rich Dad Poor Dad is the bestseller even today. What are people doing? They are bringing their own style in the most easiest way possible. That's what I try to do with my speaking style. When I'm giving a speech, I only think about, will Raj as an audience enjoy this? Will Raj as an audience enjoy a speaker who's overly prepared and conscious about how to say the next word? Or will Raj enjoy this one person who's like, अरे अपना भाई आया है चलो आज तो किल करेंगे. एंड जो मैं एंजॉय करूंगा मैं वही स्पीच देता हूँ और मैं वैसी बातें करता हूँ, वैसी स्पीचेस देता हूँ, वैसी रील्स बनाता हूँ, वैसे मोटिवेशन करता हूँ, वैसी पॉडकास्ट पे जाता हूँ. सिंपल. सो एवरीवन हु wants to give a speech, who wants to have a confidence, number 1, prepare. Number 2, think about, will you enjoy or no? You don't have to impress other people, impress yourself. Because there are a lot of other people who are like you, they'll automatically get impressed if you can impress yourself. Wow, that makes a good tweet. भाई ये लिख लेना यार, ये tweet करेंगे.
Sure. Do you think that external motivation really works? Because I remember when I was preparing for my IIT JEE exam, जो IITs के लिए होता है, and so I used to watch a lot of those videos like Les Brown and other people just saying that you can do this, you can do this. Definitely. I do too. But then the thing is that right now what I'm doing, I have not watched a single motivational video in like a year right now. And I'm just doing everything every single day. I'm putting out videos on my channel or on Instagram and all that. And so I'm just thinking about that. Ki wo external motivation, does it really help? So what do you think about that?
There is nothing like internal motivation. Nothing. There's nothing like internal motivation at all. Everything is an external motivation. Nobody comes out of their mother's womb knowing that they're really motivated and want to make it big in the world. You get influenced by other people, and that position which you admire motivates you. What are these motivational speakers or external motivation content? क्या करते क्या ये सब? What do they do? They show you dreams. So that you can make that dream your dream, and then you can get inspired to take action on a daily basis. Now that you have a dream, you don't need someone else to help you realize that. You know that तेरे को YouTube पे 1 million subscribers पहुंचना है, for example, then you don't need a Raj to come and tell you कि bro, do this, do that. तेरे पास है goal, now you have a dream, you need to work for that. But that particular dream is also an external motivation which is not there in you as of now. So now instead of a person, a position is inspiring you, and that position is external. So that is what
initially,
is motivating.
External motivation starts off, and then you can just like figure things out.
Initially क्या हमेशा ही बस वो है, externally तो motivation है, internal है क्या? अंदर से किसका मन होता है उठने का? Tell me one person. किसका मन होता है अंदर से उठने का कि भाई आज ठंडी में मैं ब्लैंकेट हटा के उठ के आज काम करने जाता हूँ. You want
Passion होता है उनके पास.
कुछ नहीं होता, किसी के पास कुछ नहीं होता. You get up and run because you want that good body, because you're frustrated with this bad lifestyle. You get up and do work because you want a comfortable life. You get up and create things because you get that high of creating. You get up and you do videos because maybe you want to reach somewhere. You love doing things, or you love talking to people, or you love creating things. You get that high, and that high is external अगर वो चीज़ create करने के बाद आ रहा है तो. It's not internal. किसी का मन नहीं होता उठने का नींद में से. बता मुझे एक इंसान जो बोले नहीं यार सोना नहीं है मेरे को, बिल्कुल लाइफ में तुम बेस्ट घर दे दो, बेस्ट चीज़ें दे दो, और उसके बाद उठ के मुझे उसके बाद भी एकदम अनकंफर्टेबली जीना है लाइफ में. There's no one. Maybe even if you're extremely comfortable, you want to get up and create things because that creation gives you high. But at the end of the day, creation is also an external thing.
Yeah, true. I feel that when I was consuming these books, like How to Influence Friends and all, बहुत सी books थी, but then I felt that the metric of my progress was how many books I'm reading and not how am I progressing in whatever I'm doing. Maybe that is like becoming like a software developer or growing on social media. So that was sort of an imbalance for me. So I was just like, ठीक है, अब enough of these books, now I need to execute on that.
Yep.
I think that's the missing point between people. They look at all of these content, but then they never think about executing. Even if they do, they don't like persevere for the long term.
Yeah, bro, that's it. That execution is a king. That's all. Like this podcast, even if we can talk about 10, 100,000 things right now, okay, but अगर तू जाके वो implement नहीं करता और मैं जाके implement नहीं करता तो ये podcast कोई सुनने भी नहीं वाला. If I have not been doing things in my life already, I wouldn't be here. Right? So that's the whole game is execution. You wouldn't be anywhere without execution. मैं कितनी books पढ़ लूँ, मैं कितना भी knowledgeable बन जाऊँ, मेरी बात किसी को सुननी ही नहीं होगी अगर मैं वो सब खुद की लाइफ में अप्लाई करके कहीं पहुँच नहीं जाता तो. So that's the whole game. Like that's the imbalance which people need to really think about. That whatever they're reading, first they need to apply that, at least try to apply that, and then figure out whether that's working for them or not. If it's working, then keep doing that until they get stuck on another problem. And if it's not working, then try to find out some other thing कि okay, ये नहीं काम किया, अब इसके अलावा ये काम करके देखते हैं. So वो करना तो game is all doing. There's nothing, कुछ भी नहीं होगा. Without doing, there's nothing at all. It's an old saying, right? Like you can't swim by learning about swimming. So वो
Right.
same books का भी वही वाला game है.
You can either read a book on swimming or just like go out there and
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah, you can learn everything about swimming, but जब तक पानी में कूदोगे नहीं तब तक reality पता नहीं चलेगी. So you can learn about everything about money or growth or making business or entrepreneurship or creating content or becoming a content creator. But जब तक खुद करोगे नहीं तब तक समझ ही नहीं आएगा, कुछ नहीं हो पाएगा.
Amazing, bro. Thank you so much for joining me here. What is your one last message that you would like to convey to the audience? Mostly they will be in like college. So what would you say to them?
Oh, I say this one thing to everyone, and I love giving this particular piece of advice. Stop looking for advices. Stop asking people what is your one message you want to give it to the world. What is that one thing which can help me change my life? What is that one big advice you want to give to people? Stop asking these kind of or stop seeking advices and stop asking these kind of questions to people. Ask them your problem statements. That's how you're going to win. So instead of asking Raj, give me one advice which can change my life, you should be like, Raj, I've been creating content in last 3 months. I've been doing this one particular thing. और मेरा YouTube पे इतना growth हुआ, मेरा Instagram पे इतना growth हुआ, and because of this growth, now after getting this growth, I'm stuck. अब क्या मैं इसलिए stuck हूँ because I'm not able to change my I'm not able to target more audience? क्या मैं इसलिए stuck हूँ कि मैं अच्छा content नहीं बना रहा? क्या मैं इसलिए stuck हूँ कि मेरे को है ना कोई लोग नया अब accept नहीं कर रहे? What should I do at this particular stage जब मैं stuck हो चुका हूँ? मैं 3 महीने में ये सब try कर लिया. अब क्या करूँ? Now this is a question because Raj has been through this journey where he has gotten stuck many times in his social media journey. So Raj can help you maybe get unstuck in this particular situation. Now that is a piece of advice or a solution or an answer which will help you. One advice, what will Raj? जा बेटा उठ और काम कर. दुनिया में हर कोई यही एडवाइस देगा ना. और क्या एडवाइस है?
काम कर रहे हो कि नहीं कर रहे हो?
और क्या? काम करो बेटा, काम करो बस. अपना बस तू काम करते जा, मोटिवेशन मत छोड़. दुनिया में सब हो जाएगा, तू करते जा. यही बोलेगा राज. और क्या बोलेगा सर? बिकॉज राज को तुम्हारा कॉन्टेक्स्ट ही नहीं पता. व्हाट आर यू आस्किंग? Because generally the reality is you get up and you keep doing until you get results. That's the end of everything. That's how you achieve results. That's how you achieve your goals, right? तो ये तेरे को आंसर सुनना है तो वन एडवाइस बोलेगा राज, यही एडवाइस देगा बेटा काम करते जा. तो अगर जेन्युइन एडवाइस चाहिए, जेन्युइन आंसर चाहिए तो सोल्यूशन ढूंढने की कोशिश करो, एडवाइस ढूंढने की नहीं. सो एवरी कॉलेज स्टूडेंट हु इज लिसनिंग टू दिस, start looking for good solutions of your problem statements rather than advices. Stop seeking advices.
Sure. Thank you, bro, for joining me here. It was great talking to you.
Same here, buddy. Thanks a lot.
that is it for this video. I hope you got to learn something from this. Make sure that you hit the like button and subscribe to this channel. And because you are still watching this, just comment by saying happy birthday Raj Shamani, because yes, 29th of July is his birthday. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I will see you in the next video. You can follow me on Instagram, you can follow him on Instagram, and I'll see you again. Bye-bye.